Boy, this one was not good, you know? It's getting to the point, more so than a regular recap. I think we just need to talk about the Big Ten and Rutgers. I mean, I don't know. I have 3-1 coming in on the day, but come on. They still, it's been, what, just a decade or more of this now, them just being just sort of pathetic in football here. And just the whole Big Ten right now looks like, well, I guess we'll get a little bit to the game. You know, Rutgers did take an early 7-0 lead, but only because of a botched punt by Ohio State. You know, that was, Egbuka dropped that one. Looked like a really windy one. You know, I don't know. He probably should have let that one go. Tried to keep making over-the-shoulder catch. He did not. So setting Rutgers up nice. And while they did put it in, you know, having to, you know, just resorting to trick plays early on, weird kickoff attempts, like not quite squibs, but not onside kicks. And it's like, man, if that's what you got to do to win or stay in the game or just kind of mess up the flow of the game, just between all their penalties and, you know, injuries and timeouts and just quirky, oddball stuff that Rutgers was trying, it did kind of mess up the Buckeyes' rhythm a little bit. They, you know, Henderson was apparently, you know, ruled out early on in the game, so we got a lot of Mayan Williams. You know, as Buckeye fans, obviously, we know what that guy can do. He's just been doing it behind Henderson now for the last year and a half here. But nationally, I believe this will be his day where he kind of becomes a star. 5 touchdowns rushing on the day for him, causing Stroud to take a bit of a step back. I mean, one of them was a 70-yard rush. Williams just hogged up that whole drive. And there was a few others like that where he busted off long ones. Average 9 yards a carry today. What he ended up with here, 189 yards, 5 touchdowns, 21 carries. Stroud, just 2 touchdown passes, 1 interception. None of the receivers necessarily put up big numbers just because with him, Stroud is 154 passing yards. But again, a lot of that, you know, some of that stuff, I guess you could credit Rutgers or you could blame Rutgers. I mean, there was this sequence right before the end of the first half. And, you know, Ohio State's a little bit to blame here, but they're trying to take up as much time as they can, but yet at the same time score. And there was a sequence, I think, they had held Ohio State to a 3rd and 7. The Buckeyes look like they're not going to pick it up on that 3rd and 7. There's a defensive holding. In fact, they were not. They did not complete the 3rd and 7. But there's a defensive holding giving the Buckeyes a first down. And then I think maybe the Buckeyes like call a run play that just gets like a yard or 2. Yeah, I think they tried to run one to the outside with Stroud. And then there was another penalty. And then there was a timeout. And then there was another penalty. And then there was another 2-yard run. It's like, just give it to Mayan Williams, man. Just let him run it essentially up the middle. I think we got this. Because, you know, they're inside the 5-yard line at this point. And then maybe another penalty and another timeout. Then a touchdown, and then it's just getting ridiculous. That final 2 minutes probably took 15 to 20 minutes. It probably took Ohio State 7 or 8 minutes of real time just to go, you know, 5 yards on 6 plays or something ridiculous. It was a sloppy, ugly game, and mostly Rutgers is to blame. While Ohio State had their problems, of course, you know, there were some mistakes made, some penalties made by them. But it was just like, then that's just when I started thinking, man, this is just getting, okay, there's obviously going to be a couple of non-conference games and maybe a Big Ten game or 2. But then you see what Wisconsin did today. They see, it's like, is Illinois really going to be the 4th team in the Big Ten? And it's I mean, okay, Michigan's doing their part. Looks like Penn State, they look like they're going to be pretty strong. But Wisconsin, usually a team you can count on. Michigan State, now yeah, you're getting in there like you're counting on Northwestern, but they don't look like they're very good. Iowa. You know, they're always a bit of a pretender no matter what their record is. But Illinois, I mean, I know they got an impressive record, and they kind of smashed Wisconsin today. But really, Illinois? That's who's got the 4 spot in the Big Ten right now? Yeah, come on. You know they can't be good. They're not beating a whole lot of teams in other conferences, near the top of those conferences. So if Illinois is going to, I mean, that's just bad. It's going to be a whole lot of this. Is what I mean, just Saturdays where the Buckeye games. It's like, this is useless. So you can't even learn anything from a game like this when the other team is so terrible. Like, what are they going to do when there's some adversity? What are they going to do when there's a legitimate 2-minute drill and they really need to score? What's their kicker going to do when it's crunch time and he has to hit a kick? Same thing with their punter when they just need a great, perfect punt. Guy for Rutgers today, he's about to break the all-time Big Ten record for punts, total punts. That just means he's been there for 4 years. Good for him. He's kept the punting job. Hasn't entered the draft or anything crazy. And that their offense has been horrible just his entire time there. And then 4 years before him and 4 years before that. I mean, they were carrying on about something Rutgers did in 2006 in a non-conference game. I don't know. At least change your name to Buttgers. I mean, that's how they just play like ass every year. I think Ohio State's beat them by an average of like 38.5 points, they said. And it's not just them. The rest of the conference is just kind of ass. You know? I mean, I'm just getting sick of these blowouts. It's ridiculous. They're not even fun to watch. And then when it gets sloppy, it's even... I mean, if it was a smooth 49-10, I don't know, man. Somebody in the Big Ten needs to do something. Okay, they got Penn State, sure. They're at Michigan State. I don't know. I'm not worried. I'm not too worried about Michigan State. I know there's been times Ohio State goes into Michigan State and it doesn't go well. Maybe they're just this good. We don't know when they're playing teams this bad. Rutgers. So sick of Rutgers, man. Shiano. I don't know. They're still Rutgers. All right, maybe they'll win a couple of games they wouldn't have won without him. But so overall, that was it. Mayan Williams definitely deserved his credit. The receivers, okay, Egbuka had that one botched punt return. Stover still in there. Although there was one play I felt like this little guy jumped on Stover's back. Might have gotten there a little early. He probably still should have brought that in. And, you know, he's got to nitpick the plays that were like, whatever. You know, the few mistakes they do make. Because, I mean, other than that, what are you going to talk about? Stroud completing an 18-yard pass to Marvin Harrison Jr. with little resistance? I don't know. He was 13 of 22 on the day. You know, that percentage could be better. But like I said, that one Stover should have brought in. He had the interception. That's all right. It's only his second on the year. I think he's got 18 touchdowns now to 2 interceptions. We'll take that. 5 big touchdowns on the day for Mayan Williams. And then Hayden, the backup, or really the third string. He got a little action on the day. Fleming again getting in the end zone, I will say. It's nice. I should always mention when Julian Fleming does something well, I should mention it because things hadn't gone well for Julian Fleming throughout his career. And I was always quick to mention that. The man out of Catawassa, Pennsylvania. 6'2", 205-pounder. Says he's a junior. Oh, that's right. We had the COVID year. But yeah, he had 7 catches in 2020. He had 12 catches in 21. And he's already had 7 this year, 3 touchdowns. I think 2019, I don't even think he got on the field. I feel like he should have been there, though. Yeah, I think he was there in 2019. That was his true freshman year, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I am mistaken. Perhaps I'm mistaken. Well, then why is he a junior if 2020 was a COVID year? All right, I don't know. Now we're going a little too deep on Julian Fleming. Should have been the Mayan Williams hour. I debated on even doing a recap on this game, but it was that pitiful. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I don't know how I've carried on for 8 minutes over such a disgusting game, but I haven't been on here all week. I thought maybe I would talk a little extra. Hope you missed me. Go Buckeyes. Anybody make it this far? Steely Matt did. And that other, sorry, the other guy. I know you're a big fan too. I always never remember your name. Go Bucks. Noogie will never make it this far. Noogie's got things to do, man. He ain't got 8.5 minutes for F-Zappa 20.